One of the most age-old questions is, what is the state? Is it a guarantor of order, a protector of rights, or perhaps it is something more ambiguous? In On Power, the Natural History of Its Growth, French political theorist Bertrand de Jouvenel argues that the state is not born out of social contract or consensus. Rather, the state is a result of a historical process and a continuous expansion of authority. Jouvenel's central claim is that power, once set in motion, grows and consolidates itself, not merely in a mechanical sense, but in its very nature. The state is not an entity that restrains power, it is the institutionalization of power's growth. To understand Jouvenel's view, we must look at power through an anthropological lens. At its Neolithic origin, power exists in a state of customs and religious authority. The state, insofar as anything like it existed, was found in the rule of elders and those with spiritual authority. Power was able to consolidate itself in these early state structures by appealing to superstitions found in early human organizations. This changes with the emergence and growth of warfare, as superstitious elders are not succinctly able to prepare and organize for martial dominance. Power naturally then occurs in warriors and those who excel in battle, and these powerful warriors and their extended families form clans as a naturally occurring form of the state. These clans then ally with neighboring clans and form the basis of a ruling aristocracy. At the head of these aristocracies are chieftains, who serve as patriarchal heads of power. Power really naturally wants to consolidate itself and grow larger. As a result, ambitious chieftains who rally loyalty from other chieftains behind them prevail as a monarch. With the emergence of a monarch, the state is formed as a way to consolidate power in the role of a king. A king, however, was far from the all-powerful leader modern historical illiterates imagine. In reality, a king was still heavily reliant on the aristocracies and clans he united, as their support and loyalty, along with wealth and resources, are what gave him his sovereignty. Power, therefore, often had to put the interests of these united aristocracies over the king's own personal wishes. But over time, power began to shift. The monarch, initially just one power among many, gradually asserted superiority by creating a wedge against the aristocracy whom he relied on. This was done under the pretense of protecting the common people from feudal oppression. In addition to appealing to the lowest subjects, kings also utilized the acquisition of new subjects in conquered territories as leverage against the conquering aristocracy. Peasants and newly acquired subjects naturally do not have the same connection to their aristocratic rulers. So, a king therefore called upon these humbler masses as allies as a wedge in his enterprise of consolidation. This is de Jouvenel's theory of high and low versus the middle. De Jouvenel's theory is contrary to popular conceptions of peasant revolution, which paint revolution as a bottom-up approach to one of an elite model. The lowest classes of a dominion are used by an organized and ambitious elite to consolidate power from the naturally occurring authority structures in society. The monarch, therefore, has a symbiotic relationship with his lowest subjects because by garnering their support, he is able to consolidate his power as an absolute ruler and limit the power of the parasitic middle subjects. While the king at this point in power's natural growth might have centralized his power, he still has to rule over a large quantity of subjects. For this reason, the king's interests are still checked by the interests of the many in order to rule and not lose support. For Jouvenel, modern states have inherited this legacy. We are meant to believe that they offer rights and benefits for the public good, but they also demand obedience, often in subtle and ever-expanding ways. The bureaucratic state, the regulatory state, and the welfare state, for example, are continuations of the same old pattern of power growing and consolidating itself as absolute. Democracy, de Jouvenel warns, is a modern political technology for power. When the sovereign is the people, power may grow unchecked under liberal democracy under the guise of popular will in ways that even the most tyrannical king could never even dream of. When power is vested in a single monarch, they are beholden to tradition and the balance of power between the many. Once power becomes justified by popular will, more can be demanded from the ruled. Likewise, once popular will becomes the justification for sovereignty, those oligarchs and rulers who are able to manipulate popular will are able to secure an expansive and ever-evasive democratic power free from the demands of regional or cultural interests. The modern state, therefore, is not just a protector of rights, but it is an ambiguous, naturally occurring structure in order to grow and consolidate power. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, and if you want to see more, you can subscribe and share the video so I can grow my power on this side of the internet. Alright, thank you again. I hope you enjoyed.